Last topic. I'm gonna say this now because coaches will immediately get fired after this next week, right?
Yeah, it's called Black Monday.
Yeah. So we got to talk about this now. We can't save it. Uh, Coaches on the hot seat. There, you got a coach in mind that you know they're getting fired Monday. Obvious one is Cliff Kingsbury, right?
Yeah.
Like Cliff, get good, decent run. I mean, take a look at the old stats here. Cliff Kingsbury, lack of success, 28-32 with a star quarterback, right? I mean, pretty good quarterback. A good young defense, had a great defense when he first took over. They were really solid. Led the league in sacks that year. A touchdown machine at running back in James Conner. Elite wide receiver talent.
What DeAndre did miss first 7 games.
Last year we're tuning back. This year I'm kind of calling it a wash. Like they could let Kingsbury, hey, we'll give you one more year. This year was a wash. If we base it off last year,
it's fall on the sword.
No, the sword. There's too much rifting going on between the players, and 99% of the time the players always win. A very Belichick normally always wins as a coach, and then so far Pete Carroll has won as a coach, but pretty much everyone else, like the players, dominate the conversation when it comes to that. And you rarely, they're not going to cut Kyler Murray, so they're going to get rid of Kingsbury straight up. But I will give you not really a hot seat, but like a wrinkle. And it may not happen Black Monday. Sean McVay retires. Could happen. Aaron Donald could just wake up and be like, call his coach and be like, hey, coach, got a ring. I'm sore as hell. I want to start a family. I'm out. What are you going to do? You know what? I'll go with you, big dog. So
after Aaron Donald just signed that massive 3-year deal,
you never know. Never know.
That's a lot of money to leave on the table for him. That's a lot of money.
Do you think
all he has to do is show up, play 75% of the snaps, could absolutely suck ass and get paid?
Okay. Do you think a Baker Mayfield? Okay, so you have an injured Matt Stafford coming back with head injuries this time and other stuff. Do you think Baker is bright enough or interesting enough to stay if you're Sean McVay?
Yes, I think Baker and McVay in that.
Exactly. Just like Timothy said.
McVay is the perfect coach. McVay is the perfect coach for Baker Mayfield.
Okay, we think that, but does Sean McVay think that?
I don't know. McVay got a big extension. If he were to leave, he'd obviously get paid big buku's amount of money from Amazon. But Amazon didn't get the NFL deal, so they're kind of dying already as a program, I think. I mean,
Amazon didn't get what deal?
The Sunday ticket deal.
Oh, they don't care about that. They got Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, and we saw how that went this year. All-time low in viewership.
That's because it's on Amazon Prime. I don't think
Bezos tried to flex and was like, "Give me Thursday Night Football," and the NFL said, "Here's the shittiest schedule possible for you. Get the fuck out of our league."
I mean,
dang.
That doesn't take away from the fact that they got the deal for the next however many years.
They can have it. It's not a good program, I don't think. Right? Richard Sherman is not good at being in the booth or even being up there. He's too clownish and too real to be in that position. It's good to be real, but don't be a clown while you're being real as well.
Yeah, I just don't like the staff really.
He thinks
fits magic.
Dude's old, washed, ACL, Achilles gone, and he's up there. Oh, this corner's trash. This wide receiver's trash. This guy's trash. This guy's trash. And it's like, all right, Richard Sherman, you give us some real analysis here, not just this guy's trash.
He does do that. He does. And then you have the Tony Gonzalez is really the only one with previous experience, so who knows?
I think should be fired.
They do have Al Michaels. Go ahead, Seth. Who do you think should be fired?
It may seem a little rude or bad. I think Ron Rivera should catch the can.
Oh, he's definitely on the hot seat. But
he's too established there.
But I
don't care if he's established there for 20 years. When a dude comes to the podium and they say, Ron, why did you fucking start Carson Wentz? They're like, are you going to get Sam Howell sometime next week? And he's, since you're eliminated now. And he's like, we could be eliminated? We're eliminated? And you're like, what do you mean? You don't know the situations, Ron Rivera?
I think that was all a troll job.
Taylor Heineke was like 5-2, and you benched him
because he had one. Yeah. So the only reason why Ron Rivera would be safe is because Dan is going to sell the team, and I think the new ownership wants someone like a Ron Rivera. They're going to want somebody, and I could be completely wrong. They could want a whole new shebang.
Okay, let me ask you real quick: if you Bear or Trammell, billionaire. If you bought the Commanders, you would I want Ron Rivera.
Yes.
No, he'd be fired immediately.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I would fire him as soon as I bought the team.
Yeah,
you guys have low
I would be Jerry Jones. I'd be owner, general manager, president. I'd offer Sean Payton $50 million a year, get his staff here, pick up Derek Carr, playoffs. Come on.
Derek Carr playoffs.
He is I'm not going to say major upgrade. Let me pump the brakes. Let me get too excited. He's an upgrade over, ODU, and Carson Wentz is just, he would be out of here, dude. Could you just imagine?
I would just take the pay just to get him off my roster.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably keep Heineke backing up Derek Carr.
You guys are wild. Ron Rivera is one of the most highly respected coaches in the whole NFL.
He wins 8 games a year, Vance. I love that.
I agree. Yeah. No, I agree. And Ron Rivera would probably
He's drafting and building. He can't do this. Literally, the number 2 overall pick in the draft from 2 years ago didn't play a single snap all year. He's had a quarterback debacle for 3 years straight. Nothing he can do about it.
And dealing with the ownership. Okay.
He needs the ownership and the GM to approve trades, to approve money so he can get decent players in there. They didn't want to pay Brandon Sheriff. So he walked.
I would respectfully.
They didn't want to pay Ioannidis.
Step down and become like a part of the new organization. But I would not. I would ask him to be a consultant.
None of this is Ron Rivera's fault.
We're not saying it's his fault. We're saying it's time to go.
Yeah, it needs some fresh.
It's not his problem. None of that's his fault. Though.
Okay,
he does not deserve to be fired.
If you were the owner of Washington and Sean Payton was like, "Hey, I want to come," what would you do?
Yeah, but Sean Payton's not going to come. Come on, let's have some common sense here.
If it's a new ownership,
He's not. Come on, the Commanders are poverty because of the situation that they're in.
They got a young.
You just said they're building.
You just said they're building. They're just a quarterback away and a competent coach away. What are you talking about?
What quarterback wants to sign big time money to play in fucking Washington D.C.?
I bet Derek Carr would.
Derek Carr would.
Take it to the playoffs. Derek Carr's not the option.
You bring Sean
He's on the
Payton.
same career. Him and Carson Wentz, exact same career path.
No way, dude. No way.
MVP caliber season, injury, done.
Listen.
Rinse and repeat.
Derek Carr has never had an above a top 20 defense in this league.
Exactly.
What do you think Washington has?
Washington was the 7th seed, competing for a playoff spot until a week ago when they lost.
Derek Carr go to the Commanders and be crying at the podium by week 4. He wants out.
Hey, when he cried, they won 3 in a row.
Their defense is solid. They got a couple weapons. That Jahan Dotson looks good too. That's 3. Curtis Samuel. It's 3 good receivers. You still got
2 good backs.
Yeah, listen, Booby could start on maybe a few teams. All right, just saying.
Derek Carr is a starter in this league, but he is 1 out of 10 times. He has a 10% chance of whatever team he goes to take them to a playoff run. That's it.
Look,
Man,
okay.
I can't trust your analysis, Vance, on
look at this.
quarterbacks because you said Matt Ryan the answer in fucking Indianapolis.
Washington
I
has.
also thought Derek Carr was going to have MVP caliber season.
That team sucks.
It's
that
because
team
Derek Carr sucks. We watched Derek Carr throw the football all year.
Okay.
He's not good.
Listen, Washington has 7 wins currently. You think with a Derek Carr, you think
6 wins?
No way. The hell,
exact same situation the Raiders are in now.
And Heineke hasn't even been truly lighting it up. They've just been winning complete football games. And Heineke doesn't make mistakes. Yes, Derek Carr does make mistakes, but the Washington's defense is way better. If Derek Carr gets them to a 17-point lead, most of the time they're not going to blow it. The Raiders blew like 5 or 4, 10 plus, 13 plus leads in like the fourth quarter or something crazy. So I think Derek Carr makes Washington a bona fide playoff team.
Okay, but listen, Sean Payton is not going to come out of retirement and go join up with Derek Carr. Come on, that's
okay. So
the money can be there. Sean Payton has all the money he wants right now. He doesn't need a massive payday to go be a head coach to pair up with Derek Carr, to go 6-10, to go 8-9, to go 9-8 and get eliminated in the wild card. He doesn't need that. Sean Payton's looking to come back in this league and pair up with a Tom Brady, Herbert, one of these top guys.
Sean Payton will be a top 5 paid head coach. 100%.
Oh, absolutely. He deserves to be so, but it's not going to be the fucking Commanders and Derek Carr.
I'm just saying.
That's a clown take. He's stooge of the week right here. Come on, folks.
Okay, so
right.
Who else, Vance? Who else is on the hot seat?
Lovie Smith.
He did. Fucking Texans.
Listen. First year head coach. He did his job. He tanked. He got you the number 1 seed. That's all. We all knew what they were doing when they hired Lovie Smith. They didn't want a competent head coach in there to be like, all right, Lovie, go win us a couple ball games here. No. Lovie got hired specifically, got paid a decent amount of money to tank. He did that. Houston has the number 1 overall pick. They're going to spend it on Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. They're going to get a competent head coach in there. I honestly think they fire Lovie, and I hate to say this because I don't think he's competent. They hire Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, my God. Cliff Kingsbury can't keep getting away with. The guy is mid. He's the definition of mid. Like, come on.
Name a big name that wants to go coach for the Texans. There's not one. There we go. Point proven. Cliff Kingsbury he needs a reboot.
What about a guy like DeMeco Ryans, defensive coordinator for the Niners, or maybe the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs will finally get a job.
Eric Bieniemy's not going to go. He's not going to go coach at the Texans.
Coordinators will take the shitty jobs to move up, dude.
Not at the Texans. Like, everyone takes the Detroit job because they're like, I can turn Detroit around, right? It's a number 1 pick. They got the number 1 pick. That's a lucrative thing to have as a head coach. Yeah, but not if you can get Bryce Young. Not if you're getting CJ Stroud. You got to figure out where the GM and the ownership wants to go. To see if you really want to go there. So when you're interviewing for the Houston Texans job this year, you need to ask them, be like, hey, obviously you have no 1 overall pick. Obviously you're looking at making a quarterback draft here. Are you going Stroud or Bryce Young? And if they're like, oh, I'm going Stroud, be like, oh, I'll see you later. Keep it moving. But if they're like, I'm going Bryce Young, you'd be like, hey, I'm kind of interested in that job. And the only guy that's mid or above that I think that will be available is going to be Cliff Kingsbury. Eric Bieniemy is not going to go coach at the Texans. What's his name for the 49ers is not going to go coach at the Texans. Though Eric Bieniemy deserves to have a good head coaching job.
Eric Bieniemy is Eric Bieniemy is like, there's a reason the guy's not a head coach already.
I don't think
Nobody credits the Chief success to Bieniemy anymore because of the fallout that happened between him and Mahomes.
Sure.
So it's
they had one little scuffle on the sideline.
Well, LaShawn McCoy has came out and said like he's hard to work with too. So yeah,
there's
he's an
reports
old school head coach.
There's reports that it's just not working in Kansas City.
These new age workers, man, they don't know.
Well, if it's not working in Kansas City anymore, he's gonna get something for sure. And
if it's not working in Kansas City at 13-3 with potential number 1 seed.
Well, sometimes skill covers.
If I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm staying coaching right there.
It's not Bieniemy though. It's Andy Reid with his Denny's menu up, fucking calling all the freaking plays out there.
No, Eric Reid relieved coaching duties this year. He's not calling the plays. Bieniemy is.
Yeah.
Which is why Mahomes and them got into the scuffle. Because he's like, you stink.
Mahomes is having an MVP caliber season with Bieniemy calling plays.
Okay. Mahomes may win MVP since Hurts got injured.
And it's like
Mahomes has MVP seasons every year because talent alone.
How do you fire the OC that just helped your quarterback go to an MVP caliber season?
Because he does it every year.
He didn't win it every year.
He's fucking Patrick Mahomes. Like, he's already had one of the greatest seasons passing ever. 5,000 plus and 50 plus touchdowns. I mean, that's not like that's what you expect from Mahomes on a yearly basis. I mean, you could go out there and run the plays and he'd still throw for 5,040.
His arm's a little sore.
Listen, I know
I said you could call the plays. We don't
know.
I know.
I thought you wanted me to get out there and toss them around.
I know last off season took us by surprise and was wild. Dare I say, and this is a hot take, this off season's going to be even wilder. Let's go.
Yeah, let's put Mike McDaniel on the hot seat, huh?
Well, you know what?
Hot seat coach
let me just listen. I touched on this earlier. Don't count slimy Stephen Ross out on anything. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Mike McDaniel just gets canned for somebody like a Sean Payton or a Michigan alum, Jim Harbaugh, because Stephen Ross is a Michigan alum.
Harbaugh.
Seriously. Oh, he's
Harbaugh's in talks with the Panthers right now.
Either way, listen, I would not be surprised.
Listen, McDaniel ain't going nowhere. Let's pump the brakes. Come on, folks.
Calm down, Barry.
The guy with Tua healthy and Tua not constantly bouncing his dome off the turf.
The
Tua's
same
competent quarterback. McDaniels had the number 1 offense in the NFL at the time.
The same scenario could happen. Stephen Ross could just be like on the phone with Sean Payton and just
Sean Payton's not going to Miami.
Cutting Tua, fire McDaniel, bring in everyone new, Sean Payton's staff, and bring in Derek Carr with everyone else.
Why is Derek Carr your answer?
Why
is Derek Carr the answer for you here?
I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm just saying whatever quarterback.
Sean Payton cannot elevate Derek Carr any more than what he already is.
So who is Sean Payton bringing then? You said
Sean Payton's pairing up with Tom Brady.
Okay, well then they could come to Miami because they've already. They're not Tom Brady.
They're not. Tom's not going to Miami.
I'm just saying.
Sean Payton's not going to Miami. The scenario at the moment.
Stephen Ross is slimy. Seth is the one that said Mike McDaniel, not me.
Well, let's just get off that topic. It's not going to happen. Stephen Ross,
never know.
Mike McDaniel. I do know.
Cannon.
I do know. The real situation, a head coach that's going to take a step back this year is going to be Dennis Allen when Sean Payton returns to the Saints and brings Tom Brady with him.
Dennis Allen should be fired.
This is
Dennis Allen should be fired, but Sean Payton likes Dennis Allen, and Dennis Allen only got the head coaching job because of Sean Payton. So Dennis Allen will drop back to being the OC.
This has been Vance's hidden agenda the whole time. He thinks Sean Payton's coming back to the Saints.
I'm not the only person that thinks this. Read everything online. A lot of people are